Hi, my name is Joel Gallegos, and today I'm going to be talking about audience sociology. It's very important to know what audience sociology is. Basically what it refers to is identifying different factors in your audience such as age, religion, gender, race, culture, and so forth. I mean, living in one of the most diverse countries in this world, I mean, this is a very, very important factor for all of us. The impact of understanding what sociology in your audience, it basically comes back to is just knowing your audience, so you're getting through to them, so they understand what you're saying and so forth. So you actually relate to them on a personal level. I mean, there's no point in talking about Social Security to a group of people that are 18, 19 years old coming out of high school. That absolutely makes no sense because it has no relevance to them whatsoever. So that's just an example of basically what I'm talking about. The different variables, I'll go into each one specifically. First one being age. Like I said, again, there's no point in talking about Social Security to your kids coming out of high school between 18 and 19 years old. Like I said, it's not going to be relevant to them. You're going to lose them immediately. It's not going to make an impact on them in any way at all. The second one would be gender. A lot of women are not into sports. I mean, if you're talking to a group of women and you bring up a topic of sports, you're pretty much not going to have their interest. I mean, so you really have to understand the audience that you're speaking to and the group of people that you're speaking with as well. Next one would be affectional orientation. This is kind of a touchy subject. It basically goes into sexual orientation. It's kind of a touchy one there. I really don't want to go into depth in that one. I just don't want to offend anybody and so forth, but you don't want to make any comments that could be offensive to a specific sexual-oriented person. I mean, it's just kind of goes into that situation. It's a very, very touchy one. Next one would be educational levels. This is a big one. I mean, you don't want to be having almost like, in a sense, when you talk to an 18, 19-year-old, you have to change your tone. Change the way you talk to them as to where when you're talking to somebody, in the mid-40s, 50s as well, because you know that they're educated, or if they are educated, you want to carry a different tone with them, and basically just change the output of your information. That's identifying the two different sociologies between the two different age groups. It is an extreme difference. I mean, you're dealing with somebody that has a lot of experience as to where somebody that has no life experience, so you have to understand that and basically kind of stand your ground in a sense, but realize what you're saying. So the next one would be religion. Religion is another touchy issue. You're not going to go into a Buddhist church and talk about Catholicism or something like that. I mean, you have to understand who your audience is again as well. These are just examples on what you probably shouldn't do. I mean, it's pretty imperative that you really understand what you should do, because I mean, a lot of these situations and issues could get you in trouble or get somebody extremely upset with you. So it's imperative that you take these seriously. Next one would be cultural factors. Nationality of race. I mean, granted, we are a pretty diverse country. I mean, a lot of us, though, we still kind of stick to our ethnic background and so forth. I'm Spanish, I'm Latino, so I involve myself a lot in the Spanish community and so forth, as where I'm pretty sure a Caucasian person does, a black person does as well. I mean, they truly involve themselves in their specific ethnicity still. Even though we're all involved with each other, it is different when I am having a conversation with a group of Latinos or Hispanic people in comparison to when I'm having a conversation with Caucasian people or even black people as well. I mean, I do change my tone up a lot. Basically, it's just a matter of being able to, almost like a chameleon in a sense, you have to be able to adjust so you grasp hold of that audience. That's the biggest thing. So once again, I learned this all from sales. I mean, in regards to working in sales, I was working in one of the most diverse areas in Denver, and it actually helped me a lot in learning how to deal with different ethnicities and different cultures and so forth, because in that area, I mean, they have a ton of different groups there. So the next one would be, like other audience factors would be speaking to groups that are there for like a special interest. I mean, if you're going to a group that's there for fantasy football, I mean, you don't want to bring up baseball. I mean, it doesn't make no sense. They're going to look at you like, what are you talking about? In different scenarios like that, just kind of identify the group that you're at, focus your conversation on the specified topic at the time, and just kind of move forward in that direction. Basically, to sum it all up, like I said, this is a huge impact on any conversation that you can have with anyone, to understand who they are, where they're coming from, what background they come from, I mean, what age group they're involved in. Don't get me wrong, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. You could be dealing with somebody that's extremely young and you kind of classify them as not being that educated, but then they turn around and they actually have some knowledge behind them. So always be prepared for that as well. Or you can have somebody that is Latino that was raised in the South. They could be the exception to the rule, where their perceptions of things are completely different than what you actually think they may be initially. So in regards to that, knowing your audience, you always have to be prepared for the exception to the rule as well. There's always going to be people out there that may challenge you and may surprise you. So basically that is pretty much it. I'm summing it all up. Once again, my name is Joel Gallegos, and this speech was on audience sociology. Thanks.